From the Ballerz Discord channel, this is the Baller Locker Room, where we talk all things baller. My name is Alex, and today we sit and talk to the UBL boys, Annyoung Newman and BlutRoyal. We discuss how they got started, the amount of work it takes to run UBL, and what's in store for Season 2. Lastly, we have a big special announcement from Annyoung Newman. So please enjoy Episode 7. Disclaimer. The Baller Locker Room podcast is not affiliated with NFT Genius or Ballerz NFT. All discussion here is not financial advice and a solicitation to purchase any past, present, and future Baller NFTs. All right, welcome to the 7th episode of the Baller Locker Room podcast. Today, we have two special guests coming from the community. It is none other than the UBL boys, Annyoung Newman and BlutRoyal. GM, and how's it going?
Hey, thanks for having us.
Yeah, doing good.
Wow, that was the shortest. So sounds good. Joining me as co-host is MP. How's it going, man?
Bing bong. What's up, ballers? As always, I'm excited to chop it up with everybody. This is a special episode, though, I think, Alex, between you and I, right? We're starting episode 7. To be honest, we only committed to 5 here. So this is a massive success. We love to be a part of the community. And to be honest, it's gotten better and better every single time. So, you know, we don't plan on stopping anytime soon. This is a consistent thing. I'm having a blast, but you know, what I want to do is just give a quick shout out to us. Shout out to Alex. Shout out to Noons and episode 7. Here we come.
Yeah, we originally committed to 5. We just wanted to do something for the baller community, give potential insights, and that's mostly it. But on the same note, a special shout out to Ronan, aka Slim Grizzly, aka Billboard Boys, for our first Bear Money donation. He requested us to try Coors Light, but you know, not great taste in ballers, but not the best taste in beer, I have to say. Thank you so much, Ronan. MP, can you give the special shout out request he needed with a little pizzazz?
Yeah, shout out Billboard Boys. That's Slim Grizzly and MP, obviously. Hey, listen, slip in our DMs. Come on in. If you got a top 50 baller from a skill standpoint, we'll talk to you. Come to me first, then I'll shift you over to Ronan if it's worse. So shout out Billboard Boys. You know, you need some liquidity, come to us. Just don't wait. Dial 555-555-55555. Thank you.
Perfect. If you guys have any questions and need liquidity now, please go to MP and Ronan. Also, if you guys feel like donating beer money, our donation app is on Twitter, Cash App, or even Bitcoin. But moving on to the lightning round questions to our two special guests. First one, where did you grow up? Maybe even your real name. What made you guys pick Baller 1383 and 287 as your PFP?
Yeah, sure. My real name is Freddy, by the way. And I grew up in Estonia. I'm still here in Tallinn. So it's, if you don't know, it's in Eastern Europe. And
I didn't even know Blood's real name. That's an exclusive.
Yeah, pretty much.
Hey, listen, we bring all of the alpha to all the people.
Yeah, this is a big one.
And then why'd you pick your PFP block?
It's my only one, my only baller. The one that I minted. I regret not minting 7. And then it's kind of out of reach for me. Now it's getting back into the place where maybe I add another one.
Good deal. Anya?
So my real name is Josh. My name that I go by on Twitter is Annyoung Newman, which is a combo reference from 2 of my favorite TV shows, The first being Arrested Development, where there is a character who the family who is not the brightest, they believe to be named Annyoung because whenever they say it, he says it in return. But actually, it just means hello in Korean. So when placing that in front of my second part of my name, Newman from Seinfeld, it creates Hello Newman, which is, of course, a greater Seinfeld reference there. In terms of picking my PFP, it actually chose me. That was one of those lucky FlowFest ballers. So I had no idea what Ballers was at that time. I was turned on the FlowFest through Top Shot, just like join the Discord. They're doing some giveaways. I was like, works pretty slow. Why not? And won a baller, and it all started from there.
Grats on that. Grats. I mean, Flowfest packs came out with some of the coolest ballers. One of my favorite, and this has been referenced plenty of times. You guys know this. Ballers wide, the tongue out, the famous tongue out ballers. I am a exclusive owner and a part of that club. So, I never had a Flowfest pack. I'm very jealous of you, Josh.
Oh, it was grinding around that time. Just girlfriend mad. What are you doing on the computers? Codes. You don't understand.
We all have the same situation for sure. My wife looks at me like I'm insane. Hey, Blut, quick question around your preferences regarding trade skills, combo, all that stuff. Like, what exactly are you if you were to pick your own baller? What would you prefer?
Well, it's skills. Has to be skills. Like 80% skills, 20% traits or accessories. Because of the UBL, skills matter more, and that's what I'm expecting from the game.
Again, it's very well documented that I am a huge skills guy as well. So I'm on the same page with you, my friend. On the same page. How about yourself,
Yeah,
Josh?
I know your bowlers; they're insane in skill.
Yeah, I'm about 95% skills based as well, where if I have the choice between a cool trait or a cool skill, or a better skill, I'm going skill. I mean, pretty much every time. And I think it kind of is for the same reason that Blett mentioned, with UBL usage combined with future potential game usage. There could always be things that could be done to work the traits into there as well. But what I know for sure is that you would think the skills would be worked in there. So that's
Gotcha.
where I go.
Yeah, I mean, a little bias coming from two UBL co-founders, kind of
No.
starters. But let's say you do get a custom baller. What would be your top accessories or even top bodies?
So my favorite accessory has to be the pencil because my BFP has one, and there has been like so many. When I listen to the podcasts, everybody has mentioned the pencil for some reason on the team. So I'm gonna stick with the pencil. And body, I really like the devil one, the red ones, for some reason.
Yeah, I mean, there's a pencil gang out there. Head by the LNC, and yeah, there's plenty of love for the pencil, no doubt about it. And I'm a huge demon guy too, or a huge devil guy. I prefer the bright zombie, but definitely the devil. I'm with that too. Those are the top two for me. How about yourself, Josh?
I think I set my sights on a little more obtainable, maybe a little more matched to my bankroll. But I think a gold grills is kind of one that I've long wanted. I started doing those gold grill exclusive cards, and I literally haven't made one for myself because I don't have a gold grills. So that's kind of a fun one in the back of my mind that I expect to get it at some point. Body wise, I kind of like the stone ones. I know they aren't the favorite of all the body types. They might even be the least favorite of the different body types, but I just like the look of them, and I think there's some fun name possibilities with them. So I think that's where I'd go.
But what if you had a custom baller? What would be your top accessory that you put on this baller?
Man, I think some gold headphones.
This-
Most fits me in my day to day. I feel I got my headset on enough.
mhm.
So, if somebody were to make a statue of me, I could see somebody having some headphones on it.
Nice, nice, nice. Just switching gear a little bit. For people who don't know you guys, could you guys kind of give a little background of what UBL is, how you guys came together, and what started it all?
So I thought about UBL back in December after the market opened and other the 2K tourney started. And like to me, I'm a stats guy. I always have like stats when I collected basketball cards. I was always looking at the stats on the back of them. So given that the 2K tournament was running like uh, what was it, like 3 minute quarters or something, I thought even if they give out stats, it's not gonna be like the NBA one or whatever. And so I was looking at finding a simulator to doing this tournament, and I kind of like sat on the idea for 3 weeks, I guess. And then I was like, okay, I'm gonna put out the tweet. I built the teams in the simulator and then made the Discord already. And yeah, and then I put out the tweet, and people actually joined. And then Newman came on, and he was
Yeah,
one of the people who he was offering help, but I didn't know what like people could help me with, and he just started doing things, and I was like, okay, this is helping me a lot. And I was like, okay, you're on board now, pretty much.
forced my way on the team. Yeah, no, I literally just saw him post about it and was like, "Oh, that's right up my alley." That's doing extensive 2K sims throughout my lifetime and things of that notion. Uh, creating draft classes, all of that stuff. So like, and that's really what drew me to Ballerz in the first place. The idea that these had traits or skills attached to them, opposed to a lot of the other NFTs I don't know I had come around on at that time really yet, or like fully understood. But these were something a little like easier for me to grasp. And then knowing that Blut was doing what he was doing, where he was transitioning that into a simulator, I I couldn't have been more excited. So yeah, just kind of like he said, I started sending him messages, and then next thing you know, I just was like, hey, I'd be happy to do some graphics for you. And he had seen some of my previous stuff that I had done on Twitter, and just was like, yeah, sure, if you want to do some stuff. And then slowly we just kind of started splitting stuff up, and he would run the streams and I would start doing all the daily highlights and things like that. And we just kind of found something that worked for us.
You guys mentioned the just the stats in general, like all the time, but I think I've said it a couple times. I think that in general attached to the ballers on the token is the biggest differentiator for the NFT as far as traits are considered.
Oh,
Uh,
100%. Even in using my girlfriend as a example here of telling her, hey, check out this picture of this monkey, and this is how much it costs. And she doesn't understand that. I tell her to check out the picture of the baller, and I tell her how much it costs. She doesn't understand that either. But what she does understand is those traits that go along with it, that we're able to transition that into some sort of a game, that we're able to utilize these in a different way than some of these other NFT communities. So it's like, even to just have that breakthrough with her where I can kind of get through to her on that is something that I can't do when I show her my party goobs that I have, or something that looks cool and may be fun to be a part of, but I can't really gamify with it, which is my favorite part.
yeah, it draws in numbers people, and I'm certainly a numbers person too. But it creates that kind of specialty of mathematics, and just links you into the gamification piece and applying and manipulating numbers as much as you possibly can, because there are so many different combos, right? You could do 99 shoot with an overall average of 81, but you can pair them up with somebody that's overall maybe an 89, and doesn't have a 90 category, right? Like there's there's so many different things that you can match up for a squad of 2v2, 3v3, 5v5, however you want to, however you want to, you know, square it away. But It's a really cool concept, in my opinion. So that's what
Yeah,
drew me to UBL as well.
yeah, it's strategic. You gotta find the right balance of like ballers on your team. Same in the UBL. I know
And,
a lot of teams like have too many ballers with the same skill set, and that's why they're doing bad. But on paper, they look good with
that must be
overall
the
skills.
pronghorns.
Is there an algorithm
Definitely not
associated?
Too much skill in Helena.
Is there an algorithm associated, Blut, that, can you talk us through that just really quickly? I'm interested, if we pull back the covers a little bit.
There's not really. Simulator wasn't done by me, but I've been like learning it, and so I see like if all the bowlers on your team are like would be assigned to like small forward position or something like that, according to the simulator, it's not gonna do that well because everyone has the same skill set.
So let me pose a scenario then. So say you have a team of all-stars with 99s across the board, and they're playing against the Scream who made the finals, or the Clovers who made the finals, right? Like how would that match up in your opinion without a simulator in play?
In that case, 99 across the board will win either way. It doesn't matter.
Okay, I see.
Yeah, that's why I think like the all stars, you can't never use them in game. The all star ones that are like personally made for everyone.
Yeah, so that obviously poses a question: what is NFT Genius going to do with the all stars? I think we have a brief look into that, or we can assume that they'll potentially be pulled out of the game situation, like the normal mint-based ballers game situation, put into either a different league or a custom league or something of the sort. But something special is going to be done with the All-Stars, in my opinion. I just don't see that them being a part of the game. This is, again, a little bit of speculation, but I just don't see it.
Yeah, it's tough to find that balance if you have somebody in your league that's 99, 99, 99, 99, opposed to, I mean, even Dingling at that point would, his stats would probably start to fail in comparison. So there's certainly going to have to be some figuring out done there of what they can or cannot do with those ballers.
Just picking you back off of, could you give the audience a little bit more understanding of the simulation? Did you, just Google NBA simulation, or did you have a friend who kind of did it, made one, and then
I
it was
think
like, oh, yeah.
I think what it is Blut was familiar with a basketball simulator that pre-exists Ballers and essentially just saw that as an opportunity to use that and utilize our attached skills to formulate a league. Now, when starting, especially coming off of what turned out to, I mean, I guess it ended okay, but what started off as a bit of fiasco with the MSA, it seemed like trust in community projects was pretty low, which kind of led to the entry fee for the UBL of season one being a top shot moment of any value, kind of a number that most could agree on. It was not a huge gamble if things didn't go great or whatever else. But if nothing else, Blunt and I knew that even at that value, we could give our all and kind of put forth our best product.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I actually wasn't familiar with it before. I was doing a lot of googling. I had the idea on my mind, and then I was just like googling different like simulation games, and I ended up with that because the guy who developed it, he has been doing it for the past 10 years, and he's continuously updating the simulation.
And just to circle back to what you said before, Josh, I mean, listen, you guys put so much work into this, and it shows. Like, it clearly shows what you do and how much you post. How much effort you put into it. And from the Ballers locker room specifically, we want to thank you guys for all of your effort, what you're doing for the community.
We definitely appreciate it.
Man,
yeah, thanks.
Just so much stuff is going on behind the scenes. So listen to all the people that are listening to this. Check out the UBL, right? Go into the Discord, check into kind of what's been posted. some of the simulations that have happened in the past that are currently happening. It's all awesome stuff, and you can actually watch them on Twitch. So I'll let you guys plug that if you want to plug that a little bit as well. How you go about Twitch, how you go about announcing some of the games. Certainly interesting for me too.
Sure. It's so Blut handles all the streaming on his end. For the most part, announcing and actually calling games has kind of been a little bit. We did it for All-Star Weekend. Blut did it another time. I believe it was for the play-in games.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to be calling the championship game today, or the championship series, I should say. But it's something that we kind of think would be a fun thing to add to it going forward, just adding a little color. I know a lot of times, people are working during when some of the streams are going on and this and that, so maybe they can't listen in anyway. But for those that are able, it's just a fun way to add just a little different element to what's going on. And, nothing special to it. It's a rolling box score that updates along the way, and you just kind of call the action, and if you're familiar with basketball, you can kind of paint that picture of what's going on.
You called the dunk contest, and I was
Riveting
absolutely
call.
dying laughing.
Yeah.
Oh, the 360 from the free throw line. Oh, so
That
cool.
that one really had my girlfriend saying, "What are you doing?" Like, oh, you wouldn't believe the action over here.
Yeah, so my idea with Twitch was actually like transparency. People could see I'm not doing anything in the back end. I'm actually simulating those games and posting the box scores later. So it's just, even if people are not watching, they can, like, if they are thinking maybe I'm doing something in the back end to give someone an advantage or not. So yeah, that just eliminates that.
Perfect. I just want to reiterate, thank you so much again for, doing this community-led project. It is a lot of work. There's so much stuff on the back end that you guys handle that, when editing this podcast, it's a lot of work, and making the artwork for the podcast, it takes at least 10, 15 minutes making sure everything's right. But Newman, you grind those daily stats out like clockwork. So I very appreciate it. And I think the community is, have no idea. So that's why I kind of want to bring you guys on to spotlight the amazing talent and hard work you guys. It takes so much more than just, hey, I have an idea, let's do this. It takes, the grind hour. Your
Sure.
girlfriend, my girlfriend doesn't even understand. It's like, oh, why you guys, I spend most of my day Sunday editing and making sure everything goes smoothly. So it's definitely a lot to a lot of effort to bring this out, as well as
Right.
UBL. So
Yeah, and it's
definitely.
always awesome to hear it from everybody, and everybody within the community is super supportive, and that's one fun thing I can do is pull my girlfriend over and say, come read these nice things that people are saying. And so it's always great to see that stuff. And Blut and I are in constant contact behind the scenes, kind of figuring out what's the best way to approach different things and come up with different fun things for it. And just some of the stuff that's in store for season 2 is it's wild.
Any big
Ooh.
lessons and hardship first before we move on to a sneak peek of season 2?
So at first I thought I'm gonna be spending like maximum, like, what, 15 hours a week on this. But
Yeah.
it's more like 40 plus. It's more than my actual job right now.
Yeah, it certainly turns into a lot, but it's like it's we knew what we had in mind, and we wanted to put forth our best effort. So it's like leaving it all out there, and it's the rewards could one day come, but until then, it's like we just wanted to make sure that we were doing something fun for the community. And it's certainly been a grind, but it's in making the graphics, I know I've had a good time. I started out making graphics as a kid, playing around on Photoshop, just making dumb pictures to make my friends laugh. Eventually in college, I was an advertising minor, so I got a little bit more of that design side of it and understanding layouts and things like that, a little less than just editing my face over a friend's newborn. and putting it on their computer background or something dumb. So it's it's the UBL has certainly kept me on my toes, pumping out some fun graphics for the community and trying to find fun ways to showcase everyone's baller because that's kind of at the end of the day that's what we're all looking to do.
Yeah. I started out by doing the graphics, the first graphics, the logo and everything in Paint, but I've like advanced to something better now. So that's a new skill. I've always liked about doing
You
graphics, but
Yeah, you deserve an
uh,
award if you were doing graphic editing on Paint by itself. So big ups.
Yeah, actually, you'd mentioned season 2. I'm super interested in season 2 and how you're going to incorporate sneakers. I don't want to assume anything, so talk to us. Give us maybe a sneak peek. What are you thinking about doing, changing,
Blood,
bettering, omitting, things like that?
give them the breakdown, Blood. Give them the breakdown.
so actually, I was thinking about contacting Show Scroll about doing something like a spreadsheet that will help me out, and he got there first at the same time that I was just discussing it with Newman, and he made me a spreadsheet with all the sneaker accessories, attributes, you name it. It went above and beyond what I imagined that he would do. And yeah, so sneakers are gonna give some bonuses. They're gonna be mostly it's jump skill, then speed. I think 50% of the speed comes from the sneakers and like that. So physical stats are gonna be affected in season 2.
Yeah, it was pretty wild to see when Blut had copied me on the share doc to take a look at what he was kind of thinking of for implementing the sneakers and some of the character traits into season 2 of the UBL. And Joe hopped in there one night, and then I had a message from Blut the next day saying, "Go look at that sheet again." And man, Joe, he doesn't get enough love in this community. That is a smart dude. Like,
Shout out Joe Schro, baby.
wow. He is
So
a smart dude.
hold on, real quick. When you talk about traits, what do you mean by that? Can you break that down?
So traits and accessories, they're gonna give small bonuses depending on the rarity, pretty much. Nothing
For
OP.
the
It's
shoes
gonna be like
or
maybe on shoes, on bowlers, both.
both?
Yeah,
Oh wow.
both.
Okay, so based on rarity, you're gonna tier some of the accessories in bodies potentially too.
Yeah, in bodies too. I
You
can.
you heard it here first, folks. The people, hear some alpha for the UBL. I'm excited to hear and figure out how this is going to be incorporated.
Yeah, so
For
no longer
season
just
2.
those couple categories. There's now, going to be a more elaborate breakdown, which should also create a more elaborate, spread of overall rankings and character, attributes. So yeah, it's pretty exciting. I mean, telling you, Joe, that guy.
Yeah, I think the balance is gonna be better than season 1 with
All right, so
all the little.
can you give us one thing that, like, are you associating dunking to devils, say, or shooting to zombies? How are you doing that?
Actually, body types. I've decided to make them be responsible for small bonuses in physical skills, so height, strength, speed, jumping, endurance, something like that. So let's say the devil skin, it's gonna give you +6 in speed, which is not much. It's like maybe in the speed skill, it's gonna be like maybe responsible for 10% if you get that bonus.
Just kind of offering up some small differentiations between the overalls and everything else, and then also just removing that season 1 template of each baller is just kind of a blank character with some skills. Now it's kind of taking into account what each baller is. So pretty exciting.
Fascinating. It's truly fascinating to me. I mean, especially incorporating all of this stuff that adds on another 40 hours per week. Can you do 80, Block?
Yeah, who needs sleep anyway, right?
Exactly. You're basically an investment banker, but for basketball. But yeah, no, just hearing this first is get my creative juices flowing as well. Maybe the alt skins have, zombies have better stamina, devils instead of speed. It could be cunning or just, you know, better basketball IQ, and you could run a whole gamut of what bodies and accessory could add to each game. And
Sure.
we're looking forward to it, to season two. It'll not just be M-Pace scooping up all the skilled ballers in a power play,
I
but
know
yeah,
MP, K dots. There are some squads out there that boy, some of those baller collections are just out of this world.
I, literally nobody can beat K Dot's all gold grills squad. Like no other gold grills
It's
squad can
wild.
beat his.
Yeah, it is wild. He has got a collection. That was fun to watch.
transitioning a little bit, can you guys kind of provide a little bit insights from your gaming background and design background? Jeremy mentioned he was heavily into kind of this game called NBA Jam, NBA Hoops. Do you guys kind of see any similarities that are being brought over from those type of games?
Yeah, I think they're gonna be like maybe a mini game, something sort of like the NBA Jam one. Because Jeremy mentioned different games, multiple games, gonna be in like the Ballerz ecosystem. So I definitely see something like maybe NBA Jam type, where like the skills are not maybe gonna matter so much, but I think the main game is gonna be bigger.
I really don't know what to expect. I like the idea of thinking of them creating a, you know, I guess a arcade style I could see, but it still seems like it'd just be so tough. But maybe it's just because it's just beyond anything I've ever done, and I just don't understand it well enough. Of like an actual video game design. So like I tend to think that their eventual what they go for is going to be kind of UBL like and more simulation based.
Yeah, here's the deal. I mean, I want to make sure that you guys, as you iterate, right, and go into season two, and you know potentially even season three coming up in the next 6 months, 8 months, whatever it is, you need to show some of that work that you've already done, um, because it's not going to fall on deaf ears. I think if you talk to them about some of the stuff that Blut mentioned, right? Devils plus 6 speed, or however it might not be exact, but if you can give some sort of idea on how you're doing this, it could be incorporated and a really important and integral part of how they develop maybe one of the 5 games or 4 games or however many they develop. Um, it could be even a possibility to support the gambling game piece of it as well, right? As you simulate some of your ballers, that shows you how they perform. You can put them into a gambling scenario. They'll probably ring fence it like a DraftKings or a FanDuel or any of those particular areas where you have to, average a specific overall skill, or they associate a salary or something of the sort. But very important, and I do want to ensure that people hear this, and specifically NFT Genius hears what Blut and Josh are doing.
Yeah, we're super excited to see what they eventually come out with, and the possibilities are endless. I just seeing what Blut and I have been able to do with the assistance of some great community members. It's we're just a couple guys. We don't have any financial backing or anything of the sort. We're doing this for a couple top shot moments and some fun with a great community and people that seem to be enjoying it, which, kind of helps us along as well. So, we're just taking it a day at a time and, like even now, even with the stuff that's rolling out in season 2 of the UBL, season 3, who knows what could come about and, what new creations could come up between then because yeah, this community is filled with great ideas. So it's really it's an exciting time. Everybody's anxious to see what's next, and the price has been hurting a little bit, but ultimately it's it's we can make the best of it, or we can make it a bad time. So we're trying to make the best of it right now.
Yeah, so I'm really even that. Maybe I check the floor price of the bowlers like maybe once a week. I'm not even like looking at it. I'm just like focused on UBL right now, fully.
And I think that
And
mindset is important, to be honest, especially for everybody who's currently in the project, right? People that are outside of it, sure, they can have their own thought process, but people that are inside of the project, um, focus on where you can add value, where you can bring in some of your own expertise to the Ballers community, and we love to share that, right? So if something develops like the UBL, we're happy to have you on and talk it through, because it's an important part of this, and we really think that the UBL across the board is going to be an important part.
Yeah,
It might
and
not be now holistically, but say in a year or 2 years, it could be a huge mainstay in the Ballers community, and it could evolve to something massive. Who knows? It's just consistency. It's delivering consistent.
right. Ballers, I believe, will it's in their best interest to take notice of Blood in what everything he's got going on. He's all that he does, and all that he puts on for the community, and the ideas he's coming up with, and his plans for the league and everything is it's just next level.
Can you do 120 an hour? 120 hours a week, Blood?
yeah, easy. Yeah.
Anything to wrap up? Anything you guys want to plug? Anything you want to chat about on your end, Blut?
With UBL, like my thought process is like keeping things fresh. Like you know, mm, most games have like battle passes nowadays, and do something like that. Like mix it up. Every season is something different. Like maybe next season, like traits and accessories count more, and like something like that. But
Perfect. And
yeah,
are you open to people giving suggestions in your DMs or having conversations about potential iterations that people would like to see in UBL?
yeah, my DMs are open. I like constructive criticism. If someone doesn't like anything, feel free to say so. Or like if you have an idea, just DM me.
Yeah, so I have some bittersweet news. I while I've had a great go here, but your boy is no longer a free agent as of a little bit ago. I did officially sign on to the Web3 world. Um, I can't entirely say too much about my project yet until I kind of get that green light from my leadership team, but I will be a part of an upcoming Ethereum-based project that is sports themed and is also gaming themed. So certainly right up my alley. And it's something that I'm so excited about that I have left my real job in real life for it, and had to explain to my grandma and dad what Web3 was. So it is official, and I am so excited to take the dive in. But with that news, it kind of will come with an unfortunate step back that I'll have to take a little bit from my participation in the Ballers community. I'll still be a holder, through and through, and still happy to see everything, and I'll still be a member of the UBL, and playing along with everyone else and having some fun. But I just probably won't be able to do as many things as I was doing before. But I have no doubts in my mind of where this all came from and how this even came to be, and it was through the support of this community. So it's I cherish you guys.
Well, listen, from Ballers Locker Room, we give you a huge congratulations.
Thank you.
I'm excited to hear about it in the future. I'm excited for you. And I really do think that Web3 and, in general, the space is going to be an opportunity where you can grow. Whether this is your forever job or forever opportunity, who knows, right? But it's a step in the right direction for Web3, and wish you well on your journey.
I appreciate it. It's a whole new world. It's something that I've been kind of doing on the side here as a hobby for, the past, months, and having a great time with it. And, it's for the first time in my 32 years, I have a job that I'm excited about. So it's a cool moment.
And the last thing I'll say also is let's collab, because we gotta get some sort of Ethereum based crowd into the Ballerz community.
I love it.
Big ups to you. Definitely Web3 is the future, in my opinion. It's just not a quick fad like some people say. And I think
Thanks
you're
a lot.
going in the right direction. Any
I-
last plugins for you guys?
UBL season 2. It's
Yeah.
I post about it in the Baller Discord probably more than anybody else. I'll drop the little graphics in there. I'll be sure to always throw a link over in the shill so I don't get scolded by any of the mods, trying to follow all the rules. But UBL season 2, but Blut has so much in store, and like I said, with Joe helping out with that sheet and all that, it's there, the world of opportunities that are available to you all, and like MP was saying, of simply even opening up a suggestion to, hey, we could do tournaments that are, you have to be this skill or this trait type or this that, they're endless. It's, stay tuned to what Blood has in store, and I'll be sure to let everybody know of what I have coming here in the coming weeks as soon as I have that green light.
Yeah, I have a lot of ideas. We'll see how many of them I get realized. How much time do I have?
Perfect.
But yeah, season 2 signups start probably Monday or Tuesday, and I'll be giving some more info on it today after finals in Discord.
Awesome. Thank you again for both of your time, and see you guys next week.
Thanks for having us, man.
Yeah, thanks for having us. See ya.
That wraps up episode 7. Thank you so much for listening, and a special thank you to BlutRoyal and Annyoung Newman. Best of luck on your Web3 journey, Annyoung Newman. Please send any comments or feedback on Twitter at BallerLockerR1, or any Bear Money donation is also greatly appreciated. See you guys next week.